everybody. This is the El Nino podcast. I'm Eladio Nino, and this is Real Everyday People. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, everybody that's been sharing, that's been subscribing, that's supporting, that's been showing love, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Salute you guys. Hope everybody had a safe weekend. I know, in this past couple months, man, everybody been, really having a good time, celebrating, still being cautious, but, it's nice to be able to catch up with everybody, man, and see people enjoying life and living life again. But I definitely want to send a big shout out, man, to Lit Music Entertainment, man. They've been out there doing their thing, and I'm proud of them, man. Big shout out to my man Leo over here at the Boost Mobile Shop in Lincoln Park over here on Dixon Outer Drive, man. Pull up, come show some love. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate them for sponsoring us and showing us some love and letting us do a little pop-ups here at these locations, man. I also want to send a big shout out to Sombra. Saturday, he had the Corridos Fest over there. And, man, there was so much mad talent there, man. So many people with so much talent and everybody, that put in the work, the time, the effort, the money, and everything that it took to come up, to show out. Much love to y'all. Big shout out to Aztec Nando. He came out with that video, Sangre Azteca. You know what I'm saying? You see me and my man Jose Del Valle in there for a brief moment, man. But thanks for the invite, bro. And big shout out, man, to everybody that's out there doing their thing, man. And today, man, I got a special guest, man. This is a brother that I befriended through a friend, and he's a young, talented brother, very creative, very conscious. And without any further ado, man, this is my man E. Tyson, man. What's up with you, boy?
Thank you. Appreciate you for having me. Appreciate you. I want to first of all give a big thanks to my boy El Nino.
Yeah.
He brought me out. And I'm very thankful to be out here. It's one of my first solo interviews I was able to land for myself, and I just appreciate him for having me on the podcast.
Ain't no doubt, man. Like when I first met you and we was kicking it, man, you just, you had some good positive energy, man. You know what I'm saying? You was a very conscious brother, man. You was glowing, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, my brother got something to him, you know what I'm saying? There's more to him. So, we had talked about getting you on here, man, and here we are, bro. I'm a man of my word, you know what I'm saying? And the name of this show is Real Everyday People, bro. And, everybody got a story to tell, man, and like I said, I created this platform to be able to create, understanding, to be able to create peace and healing amongst our communities. And, I think it's just a great time when we can bring people from different generations to be able to share their stories and their struggles and and the triumph and everything that they've been through, man. So tell us a little bit about where you're from.
So where I'm from is River Rouge, Michigan. We out here in Lincoln Park right now. So if you're familiar with the area, then I'm right around the corner.
Riverside,
and you know that.
Rouge Panthers.
Played for them too, Little League. But I grew up in River Rouge, born in Bay City, up there by Saginaw. That's actually where I attend school now. But grew up in River Rouge on Fraser, right down the street from Sabbath. Grew up with my grandma for most of my life, and really just honestly, I was like I told you earlier, I was basically the only child, so it was a lot of focus and a lot of pressure on me to.
So let me ask you this: I know you jumped straight off into being with your grandmother. Being raised by your grandmother, like what happened with your parents, bro? Like tell us a little bit about your parents, your mother, your father, you know what I'm saying, and how everything came about.
Okay, so my pops right now is 66. God bless. My mom passed away in 2017. Rest in peace. Me growing up with my parents from the beginning years, from birth until I have moved with my grandma, I still cherish those years because those are the years that I had with my parents in the household, and I had my experience there. My life starting with my parents started off in Saginaw or Bay City, roughly, and it was really a lifestyle that I didn't I'm an infant, so I don't really know too much, but I'm just living. And growing up, I seen a couple of things here and there. For the most part, really just seen drugs. I seen weed at a young age. I seen a couple of pills at a young age, but it wasn't nothing that I don't think it scarred me for the worse. I think it just was like something I seen but didn't really understand what it was.
Okay. As we all did at a
Yeah,
point in time. It wasn't until later on in life when I started to realize what I was seeing and looking at
yeah,
back then, but I didn't know
yeah.
what it was then,
Exactly.
but I know what it was now. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
exactly. So
Yeah,
seen a lot of I seen weed, I seen a gun before, and it's nothing that I was like I wasn't playing with any of those things. I think the
yeah.
worst thing I did as a child when I was up in Saginaw was take a bullet to school that I found on the floor, like like in front of a liquor store. So that
Okay.
was probably one of the worst things that I did. And but I was always in Saginaw. It was I had to get out of I had to get out of this. It was it was shaping me the wrong way, and God, I guess, had a different plan for me. He had a plan for me to go live with my grandma where there was a more structural setup,
Hmm.
and it got me out of the bad habits that I was picking up at Saginaw, which was I was always getting into fights. I was getting suspended easy. Like it was stuff that if I would tell somebody that I grew up with in Ridge about, they would be like, "No, you didn't do that." You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
that's not you.
Hmm.
Like because I was so much of a grandma's boy, but in Saginaw, it was a rough patch. It was I seen the violence here and there. I seen a lot of arguing. I grew up in the house where it was
Listen, that verbal abuse is something that's a monster too in its own. You know what I'm
it
saying?
is.
Like I know people, who've had to grow up and endure a lot of that, yelling and just, it just belittles you. It's stressful. It's violent. It's just it's not good for the person who's yelling. It's not good for the person who's being yelled at.
Oh, I used
Because
to.
there's so much power in words, bro.
It
And
is.
a lot of times, our parents were dealing with trauma from their past, and like I talk about how when I was growing up, my mother still had a lot of resentment towards my father, and I looked just like my father. So
Mm-hmm.
she used to take a lot of that resentment, anger, frustration that she had towards my father out on me. You know what I'm saying? You see that vicious cycle being passed along a lot in younger generations. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, we got ass whoopings that really wasn't, for us. We got some shit that ain't have nothing to do with us. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's unfortunate that it's like that, but I learned to forgive my mother for that. She learned how to forgive herself, and we've been able to move forward and do better. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that it's important for everybody to be able to, pinpoint, what I'm saying, where their trauma came from. What I'm saying, identify it, work on it, and move forward, heal from it, and move forward with it.
I'm glad that you. I'm glad for that for you. And
Yeah.
piggybacking off of forgiving uh everyone and forgiving yourself. I have to say that me and my mother was working on that part before her death. Um, I asked her, being in Saginaw, that's where we was at. When I got and I moved with grandma. Um, the story behind how I got with my grandma is this how it happened. Okay, so I think my mom had stole the car. She had stole the car. So my dad didn't have a way to get to work. So he had to walk to work. Now he had to walk from Williamson Street all the way to the GM plant, I believe that was in Bay City. And we like if you familiar with the area, you know how long the walk was. So in the midst of him having to walk, my mom was actually I think she was in no, the car was in the shop. My mom was in jail at the time and my dad was walking to work. So I
Okay.
had to get ready. I had to wake up, get ready, and walk to school um, for like a couple days out of the week. And then
Mm-hmm.
not too long later in the week, I ended up getting picked up by my cousin and my grandma on my dad's side. And from that point on, I have been staying with my grandmother because they sniffed, me being in a family where all your elders are predominantly 40 and up, 50 and up. I got the old school mentality. So they got the old school mentality. So they were able to sniff stuff out right as it started. So they got me out
Yeah,
of
you
there
think you
quick.
slicked in the
Yeah,
mud, man.
yeah,
They done seen it, did
yeah,
it,
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Don't even try it. That's what they
All
said.
that,
Don't even try it.
all that. So they happened to get me out of a bad environment, and I called a bad environment really the city of Saginaw for real because that was where a lot of stuff was just
That's the
happening.
sag nasty,
That's
boy.
just where all the stuff was happening. And it's ironic that I go to school there now. But stay on track. moved with grandma, and um,
What was it like living with her, bro? Like tell me some of the lessons, some of the things that even you apply today to your life today. Some of the things that she's taught you.
one of the things that for first and foremost, punctuality. I mean, I've that's something that I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get back to being very punctual because she was very hard on me about that, being on time. Another thing was it was a lot of structure living with my grandmother. She provided like the proper guidance and understanding to how you should live every day. Wake up, make your bed, go eat the breakfast, get ready, what I'm saying, and go to school. You know what I'm saying? You only gotta wake up and do like four things before you gotta do what you're designed to do every day. And as a kid, that was wake up, get ready, and go to school. So the process all before I had to go to school was the stuff that I felt like was the meat that made me, you know, who she wanted me to be for the most part, as far as a proper young man and a smart young man.
Okay.
And
Respectable.
along the way, I learned manners. I learned how to respect my elders more. I learned just the proper essence of closing my mouth, and just listening.
And how far has that gotten you? Just mannerisms itself. Please, thank you, and excuse me.
Oh yeah.
Because, honestly, bro, when I was in the joint, I was seeing a lot of the younger generation coming in. And, bro, like, they did not say please, thank you, excuse me.
Oh yeah.
Their hygiene levels, like, were low. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like, damn, like, is that what I'm coming home to a generation that just don't care? Maybe he feels entitled. Like, a lot of people think that way, but you can't overall make a blanket statement like that to cover everybody, because I know a lot of young brothers, including yourself, you know what I'm saying, who are very conscious, who are very mindful, who are very respectful. But for those who didn't have the privilege of even being raised, and that's what's sad too, is you got brothers who know better but don't show better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they because sometimes in today's society, man, if you're too nice or too kind or too respectful, people interpret that as being soft, or you know what I'm saying, things like that. So you get a lot of people, young people especially, who accommodate the crowd. You know what I mean? And but people look at you different, bro, when you say please, thank you, excuse me, when you hold the door for people. You know what I'm saying? Even if they look at you, people look at me, I might have a rough exterior. This guy got tattoos, he looks a little bit intimidating, whatever it may be. But if you talk to me and you see how I articulate myself, how I respect you, how I acknowledge you, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you who I am from within. You know what I'm saying? Because as human beings, we don't just greet each other physically, bro. We greet each other spiritually as well. We get that intuition. You ever just walk past a person or look at a person and you just see something in them that you either respect or you're cautious about?
All the time. All the time. All the time. A lot of it is it's the posture. And it's crazy because a lot of my peers that I'm around today tell me to pay attention to body language and really like pay attention to detail. And one of the things that I've always done, like subconsciously without understanding that it's a part of body language, is pay attention to someone's posture and how they sit and how they walk, because it shows, confidence. It shows a lot about someone. And not only that, but the other nonverbal one is the handshake. Something that I was taught, you know what I'm saying, to understand that that's a good way to get a feel of another man. You feel me? Is you determine, you know what I'm saying, the extent of a man based off his handshake, and you know what I'm saying, how he put his first step, his best foot forward, and just the essence of respecting the fact that people are human like you, people breathe like you, blink like you, and you know what I'm saying, everybody has feelings, so it's just proper to just treat everybody with respect, because that's exactly how you would want to be treated. And you know what I'm saying, predominantly that was one of the many lessons that I remembered, that was easy for me to remember, that was from my grandma, and
She taught you a way of life, bro.
she taught me,
because that's gonna take you from here and beyond, bro.
She gave me royalties, like mannerisms, key pointers. One of the key pointers that I'll share with people is, I asked her one day why she can't just, if she had to go to the store, why doesn't she just up and go? You know, why do you have to go into the bathroom, get ready, do this, that, and the third, and you just going 10 minutes down the street to go pick up one item? And she explained to me that she did that one day, and someone made a comment about I believe her hair, and it just it rubbed it the wrong way, and she said from that point on she made sure that everything was on point. And that part right there, that everything is on point, is the meat that I took from it. It's just to make sure you're sharp on all corners. I try to be presentable as best as I can when I come on a set like this, or in a professional setting. Anytime I had to be professional, I knew what to do. I was never unsure of what I had to do. I always had some type of idea.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
You feel me? So, and that's what it was. Like, that's one of the things that I just cherish my grandmother and my pops for. You know what I'm saying? It's business. You know what I'm saying? It's business.
What I respect is that, you know, a woman was able to instill, you know, a good belief system in you, and you know, teach you good morality that didn't just really make you a good man, but made you a good person overall in general. You know what I mean? Right. So what kind of student were you in school? Like, what kind of activities did you do? How, you know, did you have a lot of friends? Like, when you went to school in Rouge, right, for a while? Okay. And then I know you bounced around. You went to Saginaw, you went to Rouge, and then you said you ended up at Wyandotte.
Oh yeah, so I bounced around a lot.
So like, what was that transition like, bro? To go from, you know, like an all black school to an all white school?
It was very different. It was culturally different, and it was a different energy. You know, when I walked into my consortium, that's where I went. Consortium college prep my freshman year. High school, start off, I guess, we want to start out high school, we want to go back to middle school. No, we started high school, we brought up Wyandotte. So, went there first, and me going in there, it was more so like I'm not trying to embarrass myself too bad. I'm trying to make sure I stay clear of BS, and I get my work done, and I'm playing sports, you know, for the most part. Always was a person that danced as well, so anytime the opportunity came to dance, I did that. And
where you think you got that from? Where you got them moves from? Your mama, your daddy, or what?
It came from my mama's side. The genes, the athletic genes came from my mama's side, and I taught myself how to dance ever since I seen the movie You Got Served. That was the movie that started it off. Me and my brother was in the basement in Saginaw at Pheasant Run Apartments. Pheasant Run Apartments. We was in the basement and watched, and I think that's right around the time where You Got Served came out. And from then, after I learned how to wave, I took off from there. So I took off from there. Yeah, it's a little. It's
to me now.
Yeah, we can pass it now. We can pass it now. Okay. He pop locking. He pop locking. But yeah, you know, I learned that for the most part. I really taught myself how to dance. My brother was there for insight as well. He was more so a singing person. He can dance too, but he can't mess with me now, so it's all good. Yeah, that's really where I got the dancing from. So, and I always showed that everywhere I went, everywhere I went, I promise, if you know who I am, or you saw me or heard me, if it's not skating, then it's for sure dancing.
So, how did you utilize dancing in Wyandotte though? Like, what did it do for you?
It gave me the title of being the best dancer in the entire school.
That's dope.
Honestly, that's what it did.
That's a good title.
That's honestly what it did. It gave me my own title, gave me my own lane. And
was anybody trying to challenge you?
Nobody had enough courage to really challenge me in a serious manner. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Okay. We could play around and joke around, but nobody was trying to really challenge me seriously. And to be honest, if I had to be honest with you, even when I was dancing at Wyandotte, I wasn't even on beat all the time. I didn't get on beat until I got in college.
Damn, okay.
So that's just the reality of it. Like,
what sports did you play when you were in school? I know you mentioned soccer.
Yeah, I mentioned soccer. That was way back in Saginaw when I tried that.
So what was that like being conditioned for soccer? Like, you know, when I went, before I had went away in 2002, you know, you didn't hear too much about soccer other than in, you know, countries like Mexico, Brazil, things like that. But now, like, it's everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always been an international sport, but it really wasn't popular here in the States, you know what I'm saying? But now, all the schools, like, you know, communities, neighborhoods. You see people playing soccer all over
Yeah.
the place now.
I played soccer a little bit. I was trying to get into it. I didn't really go far into soccer. It was more so like I just got a few games in, if that, a few scrimmages in,
Okay.
if I could really remember correctly. And the essence of soccer for me, it was a simple fact of being able to run fast. And honestly, like it was simplistic as ever to me. Like it was.
That's probably what led you to track and field.
Yeah, and in most cases it did. I when I got into track, they started me off long distance, and I low key hated it. I hated it. I felt that I wasn't getting better, not understanding that that's just probably long distance and mid distance was probably just my forte when it
Okay.
came to running. It was probably my forte. My race that I ran was the 400 when I got to Wyandotte. I had run the 4 in freshman year. I ran the 8 and I ran the mile. Really ran the mile. That's what I really ran. And I won, but I don't take any credit from that because I used to race people in tennis shoes.
Was it easy for you to make friends when you got to Wyandotte?
It was easy for me to have, I call them fake friends. I have a few real friends from Wyandotte that I still keep in contact with. But I really call them fake friends because it's just like they only in your face because honestly you attend the school. And like I said, I felt like I
You
had,
guys just sharing the same space.
yeah, we
You
just
got
in the
something
same
in
space.
common.
Yeah,
you know?
like that's really what it is. Like it really wasn't no real love for real. Like it was just like it was more so like a they trying to figure out if the stereotypes about black people is real. Like type energy. Like
Yeah.
it was like they're reading you to see if you fit that description.
Were there any other black students in school when you went there?
Yeah, it was a lot of other black students. I came there with about five of my friends. So
Oh, okay.
it was I did have my group. So I had my security, my emotional security for the most part. I can say that, and that's something I really didn't even acknowledge until I got on this podcast. I just said emotional security. I ain't never said that. I ain't never said that.
Well, you were just able to identify it. You
Yeah,
hear me
so
just talking about it, man.
I had that, I had my fun, I had my laughs, and I had my own support when it came to, fighting back when it came to verbal fights.
What was the education like? Was there a difference between the education in Rouge and the education in Wyandotte?
Um, well, me seeing as though I only went to real schools at Sabbath, I would say that it's a difference. I can't speak on the high school at Rouge, but um, it I feel like it's a difference because of, and this honestly kind of has nothing to do with it, but I felt like it was a difference because of the division of the school, like honestly, and where they and where stuff just ranked. I didn't have a clear depiction of what was better. I just went off what my parents said. So my grandmother is the one that recommended me to go to Wyandotte, and she was the one that basically, motioned that Wyandotte is a better academic school, academically sound school for you. So, and that's where my neighbor went as well. And basically, I followed him. She made me follow my neighbor. So I was like, okay.
I just remember you mentioned how Wyandotte just had more structure. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
And when you got structure, that means that there's accountability. And it does teach you different things. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you focus. It teaches you commitment and devotion, things like that. So there's a lot of lessons that you learn out of things where at the time it doesn't make sense, but later on in life you realize that the understanding, the knowledge, the tolerance, the patience, the education, the experience all comes from the journey that you've been on. And it wasn't all for nothing. It serves its purpose.
It did.
Did.
And
And these are life skills too. We learned them at a educational level, but it became a long-term life skill that not only you can learn to live, but you can pass on for other people to survive as well.
right. And just like you said, when we mentioned it earlier, off camera, it is a lot of structure. It was a lot. That was one of the main differences. I felt like it was a lot more structure. Maybe because it was a sports. But for the most part, the teachers did their job. I can say that they taught you what they needed to teach you. And I was pretty much A and B student. Like middle school, And I would say all the way up into probably the 10th grade, I was a studious person, and I was motivated to be studious. And then I started running into people that was cheating a lot. So when I seen that low key that shifted my motivation to be more lazy, because I just felt it to be so disrespectful for me to be doing all this studying and all this work just to get asked, yeah, can I see your homework? I just was like, I wanted to be able to like truthfully tell them I didn't do it. So like it kind of shifted my motivation down the wrong road. But for I still had B's. I got more C's after 10th grade, but I still had my A's. I still had my B's.
So when you graduated from Wyandotte, you went to college, right?
Yes.
Like, what inspired you to go to college? Who motivated you to go to college? What college did you pick? Why did you pick it?
Grandma motivated me to go to college. She
Okay.
always spoke about it. She always kept college, the word college, in the air of the house. It floated throughout the house. I picked Indiana State. Why? Because it was out of state and I can get away from everybody that I knew. I just wanted a fresh, clean start, in which I did. I got that. I went into mechanical engineering as my major. It was something that I had chosen before I even got to high school. And it's funny that I remember, because now I remember that in high school I wanted to try to go to Cass Tech, and I got accepted. I just didn't go. And I'm glad I'm saying this now. Like, I just didn't go. Why? Because my grandmother was sick, and I knew she was devoted to getting me to school, and I just felt like I would be putting pressure on her to get me to school if I chose to go to Cass Tech, which is why I didn't go. Even though I had a family member that taught there. So it was actually crazy. But I went into mechanical engineering as my major. Still is major in mechanical engineering. Still is in college right now, and I've been in college since 2014. Graduated high school 2014. Started college 2014. Indiana State is the school that I picked, like I said earlier.
How come you picked there?
Like I said, it was to get a fresh start, to get away. It was
Okay.
a 6-hour drive.
Just the opportunity,
More opportunity, new faces, new state, new.
How come you felt like you needed that? What was you going through at that point in time where you felt like you needed to get away from everybody?
If I had to be honest with myself, it was probably just verbal bullying. It was just the simple fact that I was always the odd one out. So I was always getting made fun of because I had the attributes that I had, because I wasn't so like talented in basketball and talented in the right position for football, because I played growing up little league. I played nose guard, and I was still small, so that's like I don't really have credibility to talk crap playing nose guard,
no doubt.
especially to actual lineman that's 200 plus, or little league probably 150 plus. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have the skills like I did until later on in high school, and I ended up gaining my respect through sports. Still not through basketball, Hey, basketball is still something my friends hold over my head. But for the most part, it was just the simple fact that I was the most different one. Okay. I was the one that could dance. I was the one that could skate. I was the one that could do everything.
So you just wanted to take your talents on the road and see where you get with it.
For the most part, I mean, I guess subconsciously, yeah.
Did you know anybody in Indiana, or did you just show up and show out?
I showed up and I showed out.
Found you a place?
I got there solo dolo, and the only thing I was looking for was somebody that was just from Michigan. And I ended up being the manager on the football team, and then the second semester I walked onto the football team. Wasn't on there for too long though. I wasn't on there for too long.
What was it like? So did you live on campus?
Yes, I lived on campus. I did live on campus.
Okay, and what was that like?
It was, for me, well, start if I had to be real. If I losing my virginity before senior year just only prompted me to this is so childish now. But my friend set me up. My friend set me up to lose my virginity. Okay, I lost my virginity, and from that point, after
like
my
American
senior year,
Pie, bro.
After my senior year, when I got out of my relationship, I honestly escaped. I dodged a bullet, kinda, for the most part. I dodged a small bullet with that relationship because I found out some news. So I went into college with the motivation from being in a relationship, so I'm like, I'm gonna be single. So I went into college just having all the fun possible. Joined the step team when I got there. I was
Oh
around a
yeah.
bunch of girls. I was always around the females. I stayed in the game room, which had the pool tables. Pretty good. I developed a skill in pool to where I even bought me a pool stick. Uh,
You know you serious with it when you go buy your own pool
and it's in the
stick.
car right now. It's in the trunk right now. So um, being at Indiana State, it was a big opportunity, and I was able to, I guess, brand myself, not even knowing that that's what I was doing, but I was able to brand myself and put myself out there. Put my talents out there.
Did you meet friends? Like, did people embrace you, like knowing you were from Detroit or coming from Michigan?
Yeah. Not really. I got maybe two friends from Indiana State that I can probably, one for sure that I can call right now, and it'd be like we didn't even skip a beat. One for sure, I got, and he is in the adult film business.
Okay.
So and he's successful in that. So that's the one credible friend I can say that I kept coming from Indiana State. Now, female wise, I did have a lot of female friends. I had one great female friend. She actually had a crush on me. Didn't really realize it, but she was a good person. That was good to me too. She kept like she was what is it? She was spiritual. She's a child of God. So she kept that energy on me as well. And coming from childhood, I was always at church. I was always at church. So, and that really came from my Uncle Chris.
What church did you guys go to?
I started off going to True Worship Church. It was in Delray, right down Jefferson, going across the bridge. That's where I started off. My Uncle Chris got introduced that church to me and my pops, and we have been going there ever since, all the way up until, I guess, we stopped.
He said we went there until we stopped.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't nothing that we just said we're gonna stop. It just happened. Like it's just like what I'm saying. So we got.
What do you remember about church, man? Is it something that you dreaded, or is it something that you embraced?
It was something that I hated being consistent with, but I enjoyed the time that I was there when I got there.
Okay.
When I walked through those doors. So you just
wanted to go when you wanted to go.
Exactly.
You ain't want to go when they took you.
Exactly. But when I got there, I was always just kind of happy to sit on the pew and listen to it, because when you actually did listen, it's so crazy how whatever he's talking about, he just literally just scooped out a part of your life from that previous week. Just scooped it out and put it in the sermon for that day. Like it was just so weird. And one thing that I always cherished going to church was the band. It was the band. I love hearing the instruments. They even gave me my own little bongos to play because I was like I would dance in church.
Oh yeah.
I would literally do hip hop moves in church.
So was it like a Pentecostal church or was it a Baptist church?
Baptist.
Was it Baptist?
Yeah,
okay.
church.
Because I one time I rest in peace, my brother Gigi, man, shit, and his brother Christian, but their mom had taken me to a church that she used to take my boy Gigi to, and it was a Christian church, but I don't remember if it was Pentecostal or what. But like they was hollering, they had drums, guitars, they was dancing, screaming, yelling. I was like, damn, like that was something new to me. I had never been. I grew up in a Catholic church, so when I seen all this going on, it was like I wasn't used to it. You know what I'm saying? It felt uncomfortable at first, but me being open minded, I eventually embraced it. You know what I'm saying? But like it's a way of life for people, man.
Honestly, when the shouting at church, me being young, I did used to get my laugh on the inside a little bit, but I also did respect it as well because, like I said, I was the one that got out there and shouted too when I was young. I was trying to catch the Holy Ghost too, so I was out there getting my praise on. There's nothing wrong with it, trust me. There's nothing wrong with it. I need to go back and get my praise on some more. I feel like God is calling me to come back and get my praise on. But
what values did you learn from your religion or being raised in the church, like that you apply to today that actually stuck with you?
Honestly, one of the I have to say patience. Um, Patience is one of the main ones. It's one of literally the main ones. And then understanding. I've always asked God for understanding. Always, 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 always. I get in the shower. God, please help me understand. I'll be on the toilet. God, please help me understand. I get in trouble. God, please help me understand. If it's something that I didn't understand and I was angry about, that my pops tried to explain to me the you know what I'm saying, the correct perspective to have, and I didn't understand it, God help me understand.
Listen, bro, that is crazy that somebody taught you, to pray for understanding, and you did it. And through understanding, you obtained wisdom, you obtained knowledge. And me, I was always raised to pray for strength.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like no wonder my life it was so difficult, because every time I pray for strength, God made my life hard. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what make you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what give you strength. Is more issues, more problems,
Mm-hmm.
more weight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to learn how to communicate with God. I had to learn how to articulate myself and ask specifically for what I need. Like if I need a break or I need some grief, because God hear your prayers now.
Yes, he do.
And he answering them prayers.
Yes, he is.
Because he answered all my, every time I asked for strength, he made sure he put a ton on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to be strong, you need strength, here you go. And I said, Lord,
Get your Samson.
what's going on? What's going on right now? You know.
Get your
But for
Samson
you
on.
to be raised to ask for understanding, though, man, that is beautiful, bro. Because understanding is the enlightenment of the world, of the mind, of the people, of the cultures. That's what brings about peace, love. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have to like you or even agree with you, but just to understand who you are, what you've been through. You know what I'm saying, can bring about peace in itself.
Exactly, because you know how to correctly move. You can move correctly. And I had to, when I seen this video, I had to just agree. Rick Ross was talking about, I don't want to move fast, and I don't want to move the best. He said, I want to move correctly. And I was like, you know what? I said that makes the most sense. And that goes hand in hand with understanding. If you can understand, any given thing at almost any given time, we can't be perfect and we can't be a robot. But if you can do your best to understand what it is and be accurate, like I don't think you can really step in the puddle or step in quicksand. I don't really think it's possible for you to do that, because you understand what something is before you even involve your energy and time into it. So
Yeah, I think the biggest part for me is just to be righteous, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my steps in today's, and the way I live my life today are very definitely calculated, but I like to just live freely, bro. You know what I'm saying? When after spending 17 years in prison, bro, they teach you, they show you, you have to ask for permission for everything. They deprive you of everything, and they teach you that everything in life is a privilege, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you just learn how to appreciate things different. You learn how to calculate things different, because, shit is real. You can forfeit your freedom, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can relinquish your power to people who can run your life. I'm a conscious man. I don't need nobody to tell me how to live my life, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but it taught me. I had to go through the fire and be forged to be the man that I am. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't trade it for nothing. You know? But what we're going to do is we're going to take a 2-minute intermission. We got a treat for you, and we'll be back to talk about this man in the future.
And you know that.
Thank you for staying tuned.
No sé qué vendió, a la gente no sé qué le dio, pero todo el mundo está loco, todo el mundo está loco, todo el mundo rayado del coco. Y yo solo sé que montaron.
Dancing at the ghetto, in at the ghetto, party in the ghetto, in at the ghetto, dancing at the ghetto, in at the ghetto, party in the ghetto, in at the ghetto.
En el ghetto hay party, todo el mundo everybody, estamos flow Rastafari, está perfecto ese body, mami tú estás bien salvaje y yo que estoy de safari, DJ no le baje, pónganla de Tego y de Daddy. Ese culo es de quilate, se te notan los pilates, o tú tú ganas o yo gano, no lo dejamos en empate. En mi casa se remate. No fuimos low-key, callados sin dar detalles. La gente ya se dio cuenta que montamos la disco en la calle. Ya esto es
Dancing at the ghetto, and at the ghetto, party in the ghetto, and at the ghetto, dancing at the ghetto, and at the ghetto, party in the ghetto, and at the ghetto.
en el barrio. Siempre hay bailoteo, Ave María. El trago nunca falta ni la buena compañía. Yeah, cómo ha cambiado la vida. Yo crecí en el gueto y el mundo es la casa mía.
Dancing at the ghetto, party in the ghetto, and at the ghetto, dancing at the ghetto, and at the ghetto, party in the ghetto, and at the ghetto.
Skrillex, Chip Alvin, man. Tiny, Mostin. In the ghetto,
Party in the
Chip
ghetto.
Alvin, man.
Yo, what's up, everybody? As always, I always try to, bring a treat to everybody, display local talent. This brother's talented, you know what I'm saying? He been dancing for a while now, and we're gonna let him show his moves over here. Tap in with him, holla at him. You know how Detroit do. We get our jit on over here. We've been doing that for a while now. Chicago, what's up? I know y'all get y'all jit on too. This the El Nino podcast. I'm Eladio Nino, this real everyday people. We got my man Tyson on deck, ready to show you how it's done Detroit style, baby. Let's get it.
Get it, E. Tyson. Show what Detroit do. Let's go. Bring it to you live from the Bestcon Wireless Boost Mobile Store here in Lincoln Park. Yeah. This is the El Nino Podcast. Real everyday people. We will be back.
Quisiera estar a solas contigo. Eres tú mi atardecer y también mi despertar. Ven y asfixiame de ti.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the El Nino Podcast. I'm NINO. This is Real Everyday People. I want to thank everybody who's been tuning in, who's been watching, checking out the talent. You see the young brother, man, Etysonjr went ahead and show you how it's done over here in Detroit with the jit moves, you know what I'm saying? So tap in if you're trying to get with him. You shooting a video or you just want to, if you just want to, you know what I'm saying, battle with him, you know what I'm saying? He ready for you.
I'm ready for everybody.
Yeah. You know, here at the El Nino Podcast, man, we always try to, display brothers' talent, man. You never know where it can take you, man, you know. But I want to send a big shout out to LA Landscaping, you know, and definitely at Guy's Pizza, man. Much love to y'all. Love that butter crust with the Parmesan. Much love for that. To Rob and the family, man, and to, everybody else, man, everybody that's, small business, big business, you're buying your first home, you're just starting your business, whatever you got going on. If I know you, if I don't know you, I support you. I'm rooting for you. Much love to you. I wish you all the success. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's network. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna get back and we're gonna talk with my man, about what he's doing with his dancing and what the future look like for him.
Okay. Thank you for that. So to start off,
like mug, boy,
yeah,
you putting in work.
To start off, what I plan on doing with my talents is basically setting up my own business so that I can move properly. So I've been working on getting LLC, getting the proper business structure so that I can display my talents effectively and professionally. So I can accumulate things without, without any legal trouble. So that's the goal, is to stay away from legal trouble while doing what I feel passionate about. So I'm getting that done, and I'm in the process of getting everything set up for that. And
so you were showing me when we first met that you would be doing TikTok videos and all that. Like, what's that about? Give your information, where they can find you, how they can reach you, how they can tap in, and what motivates you to do these little videos. What are their TikToks, right?
Yeah, I really do. I do YouTube.
YouTube. Okay.
And I do reaction videos. So you can find me at Etysonjr. You know what I'm saying? I pop up. I'm about 10K strong right now. I've been stuck at 10K for about a year and a half, 2 almost. So so sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to sweat too hard.
So what is it that motivates you to do the TikToks and the YouTubes? Like what is the mission?
So the mission is to
build up my own platform so that I can always have my own stream of income independently, so that nobody can dip their hands in my pockets or have any type of control over how I move. So that is the motivational drive behind YouTube. When I started off off the love of just being on camera, and I still got that love. It's still that same love. I'm just setting it up so that I can do everything professionally, so that nobody can take anything from me. Started off with another guy that I went to school with. We was party promoting at first, and then coming to the end of that, you know what I'm saying, he called me like, you know what I'm saying, hey, what's up, what about reaction videos? So I was like, cool.
What's a reaction video?
So basically, we're on camera like this, and we have another monitor, and we'll be watching whatever it is that we're reacting. We could be watching Judge Judy, we could be watching Judge Joe Brown, we could be watching dance choreography, certain music videos, certain other dance clips. We can watch a video about a car getting made, anything. And just the whole purpose of the reaction video is to catch our facial expressions, our comments, and just honestly, that is the entertaining part.
Oh yeah.
So when we did the reaction videos, we did it to dance choreography. So by me being someone that already dances, and I had just got back to school from dancing with Tiffany Renee. So I had a lot of experience, or what I felt was a lot of experience in the dance world. So it was way easy. It was just so easy. It was right up my alley to do this. I was like, why not? Did it, blew up, went viral. After a while, I began to spread myself too far thin, and I got involved in too many other extracurricular school activities that limited my my YouTube presence, or no, not even YouTube presence, but behind the scenes, it limited my availability. So that caused a lot of issues as to why I'm even like solo on YouTube today. But a lot of it had dealt with school related, like my grades and things like that. And honestly, a lot of people have been asking for the story, because every time I'm on YouTube, the fans ask me, why you and old dude don't make videos no more? What's that about? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, look, I always tell them to go ask him, because honestly, I got the same energy I did back then. Yeah, I do the video, and I'm here for the video. Yeah, you dig what I'm saying? Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I'm saying? I can say now.
How do you get paid off of it though, bro?
Monetization.
Okay, so you get monetized, and then what? Does it come off the views? Does it come off the subscriptions?
It comes,
like, how do you make money, bro? Because I'm like, shit, if you got 10,000 already, 10,000 subscribers? Yeah. It's like, you would think that, that's a nice amount of people. You should make a nice amount of money. I mean, I'm trying to make money off this thing. I'm trying to get somebody to cut the check.
For you. 3 days, you're getting monetized. I got the screenshot right here.
Oh yeah,
okay,
sounds good.
Monetization.
We're trying to get started up. Too.
Facts.
I'm trying to get y'all to buy some stars for me and all kinds of shit.
Man, look, all y'all gotta do is tap in with him all the time, like on his videos, make sure y'all leave a comment, and just, if y'all cooking, turn the video on, because the duration of it is what helps the algorithm and everything else. When it comes to picking up revenue. So basically, I'm not all the way experienced with receiving a check from YouTube, if I had to be perfectly honest with y'all. I've came close to getting the threshold of at least $100, because that's what you have to get. You have to make.
In 3 days, I'm going to be monetized, baby.
That's a blessing.
Right on Facebook, so it's hard to get on monetized. Facebook.
It's hard.
You accomplished it.
And luckily for me, when I went and I started being on YouTube by myself, it was easy for me to get monetized, because the YouTube algorithm already recognized my face. And like at that time, we had already had like 2, maybe 3 videos that's over 1 million.
Damn.
Right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
Can I get 100,000 or something?
And it just, honestly, it comes from, damn! She got that? She spreading her shit like that? Her mama know she doing that? Your mama know you doing that? No, hell no. We got to rewind this. look at that. Everybody, look at that. And that's how I am on the reaction videos. It's just I'm just so true and honest. I give my actual reaction. You know what I'm
went
saying?
straight off into it too, and I was
It's
like,
just I know.
I was like, okay,
Yeah, like, what are you doing? But yeah, that's exactly how I will be. I'm trying to tell
your
you,
reaction gave me a reaction.
and I think that's why I found so much success in getting videos, like getting a lot of views. Like my most viewed video solo is at 80,000, and not a big accomplishment for most, but for me just sitting in a chair looking at a screen and doing oohs and ahs to get 80,000, I feel like that's pretty easy. So, and that was a video that was my closest experience to gaining revenue from YouTube. Like I said earlier, before they was discussing the monetization, is that you have to get at least $100 in revenue, off views revenue, or just revenue in general, to receive a monthly check from YouTube. You got to be active, you know, and a lot of stuff goes into it. Like when you go to your YouTube and you look at your analytics, you look at your demographic, you look at like all these different details and things that consist of your channel. You got to like pay attention to it on a daily basis to really like get a good understanding of it. And a couple of key pointers that I've been given, even when I went out to Miami, I ran into a dude that works with Logan Paul. You know, I don't know if you're aware of him, but he's on the pod. He got a podcast going for himself that at least drops 1 million views per show.
Paul Rogan?
Yeah, Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
He just fought Floyd.
Oh, dog. Yeah,
Him.
okay.
Yeah, him.
Right, yeah.
So the guy, one of his crew members, I ran into because I went to the Floyd fight. I went to that.
Okay.
And he was telling me to just post. If he was like, whatever day you post on that day at that time, every single time, and then the YouTube algorithm will eventually catch on, and then it'll begin to from picking up from where he left off. I feel like once it catches on, it's going to remember you, and it's going to more likely put your video in the suggested views video list of videos for people that are watching that are in your area, and from the tags that you put in your video as well. And then after that, it's really just promoting it yourself. So
what do you use for promotion?
My Instagram. My Instagram grew because of my YouTube presence. My Instagram went from 1,300 to now I'm at 8,800, and I low-key lost like 700 followers over a course of a couple months because my presence hasn't presence hasn't been there.
Where's the furthest you've been able to reach, like country-wise and people?
Australia. I got to London.
Have they
Africa.
ever muted you or anything for anything that you did? Because that was like some of the stuff that, you know, some of the obstacles we were faced with when we first started going. Like they were muting us for this, for that, you know, for songs.
Honestly, I was so the copyright a lot. So what happens with the way I've started doing it now? I mute the video, and every now and then I bring the audio on. So I unmute it every couple seconds, or for a couple seconds every few minutes, depending on how long the video is, so that YouTube doesn't claim copyright. Because if you have the audio going on consistently, they will copyright, which means whoever owns that is getting the percentage of whatever revenue you make from that video, and that's irritating. Okay. So I had seen a choreographer that I actually reacted to one time, and that the video I react to on my channel is in double digits. He muted the video so that he can get full revenue, and I just took that and I took heed of that, and now I'm doing it. Before that, I had went off of what I was told from the guy that I was on YouTube with. He said that he found success, cutting up his videos. He would cut up his reaction video, and I felt like that was doing the most. I ended up doing it a couple times, and I seen what he was talking about. But now that I actually do,
and was you doing the work yourself, or did you have a team with you?
I know I edited everything on my channel. I edited. I think I only have one video that I did not edit. There's only one
Okay.
video on there that I did not edit, but I edited everything myself.
Okay.
And it's pretty simple. Like, it's just that it's tedious. That's really what it is. It's like I feel like once you learn how to put roofing on the house, it's pretty much easy. But it just takes all damn day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just takes too long. So that's really what the editing process is. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much simplistic as hell.
My man Jose, he be over there sweating, boy. I know that guy be humping. He be
Because
transitioning.
it's always
from
the
one
fear of
program
deleting
to the
something.
next,
It's
and
always the fear. Like,
Yup.
anytime somebody mess with a program like
gotta
that,
hit
they
the
scared.
restream,
They
you
scared
gotta
they
hit-
gonna delete. They scared they gonna undo. So they take all day to build up the confidence to press a button that ain't gonna do nothing. And that's just the honest. That's just the real in it. But if you know what buttons work, and I tell this to people that go into engineering, if you just like they tell me, if you want to understand stuff, you got to learn the tools. So for editing, you got to learn the buttons and know what they do. In my case, for engineering, you have to learn you have to learn the definition of every variable to understand the equation, to be able to solve it correctly. So it's the same principle in a different light. So
how much more college you got to do, bro?
probably about 1.5 years, 2, if I keep my head down and just if I see my way out, maybe 1.5 years.
So after these 2 years, you will say 1.5 years, where do you go from there? What are you gonna have, a bachelor's?
Bachelor's. I'm gonna have a bachelor's. I'm
degree?
gonna have my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering.
And then how do you want to utilize that degree?
So I've tried to build up different plans. One is to go and work at a car shop to get my knowledge up on cars and stuff like that. You know, maybe I want to design an engine once I learn enough. Another one is to team up with a coworker of mine. He got a business going and he may need a lead engineer. So come time for me to, you know, apply my skill set from engineering, I'll be able to independently work as an engineer. Or honestly, before I graduate, I could probably do an internship, set up an internship, a paid internship, get my experience, and then when I get out, I'll be paying myself for the most part, or you know, or
What
with
about
the guy that I'm
mentoring?
knowing.
Like you do some mentoring, don't you? That you say you work with juveniles as
Yeah,
well?
I work with juvenile kids. I've been working there for 1 year now.
Where do you work at?
I work at Wolverine Human Services. They got one here in the city of
That's
Detroit
in
too.
Vassar, ain't it?
Yeah, it's in Vassar up there.
I was in that boot camp over there in Vassar. I was a Wolverine.
Yeah, so a lot of kids that get into a lot of trouble, or that's just basically, I won't even say that they get into a lot of trouble because
I
they're
know I was
misguided.
in a lot of trouble when they had me there.
Right, because they're misguided by things that they did not ask for. So the thing is, when I'm around the kids, I bring a lot of laughter. I always crack jokes with the kids. I try to hear them out, make sure they get a word in, because I know when I was growing up, old school, we'd say it for you. Yeah, type deal. You know what I'm saying? If they telling you something and you just want to get your word out, they probably already know what you about to say. And if they didn't know, it's still gonna be whatever they saying is the principle. So I try not to do that to them. I try to hear them out because I know that's a trigger.
Absolutely.
So
bro,
that's
sure.
like the very meat of making sure I remember for my job.
We definitely need the network, bro.
Oh,
You know
yes.
what I'm saying? I told you I work at the Detroit Hispanic Development Corporation on Trumbull, and I would love to take you on a tour, see you, you know, show you around, show you all the programs that we got going on there for the youth, man. And then maybe one day I can come out where you're at, man, and
Facts.
go see, you know, meet some of the juveniles you working with. You know, I could share my story with them, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been through the youth home, juvenile boot camp, all that good stuff, man. But at the end of the day, bro, like I said, everything that I went through wasn't all for nothing, man. I want to be able to share my experiences, my growth, my lessons with others. You know, each one teach one, bro. I want to pass on the experience and the knowledge, you know, to save somebody else. You know what I'm saying? They had to go, you know, down that rough road if they don't have to, bro. You know what I
Facts,
mean?
facts, and a lot, like I said, a lot of with these kids that they just need that. They need someone to sit there and just talk with them, and just to keep them busy, because you know kids got a lot of energy. So I'm not about to get too far deep into it, but you know it's just to be there, be present, and be someone that they can see. You know, not
and
somebody
rely
they
on,
can just
and rely on.
yeah, that you know, all that.
Because at this point, man, you could be leading these kids down the wrong road, and they would follow you just because they want to know that somebody care about them enough to even, you know what I'm saying, just to guide them. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's our responsibility to be able to cultivate what is right, what is righteous, and what is good and moral for our people in our community, within our community. And all starts with us. We have to be the change that we want to see. You know?
Man, facts, and I'm glad that you said that, because just like you got this podcast going, I'm trying to do a podcast myself up at Saginaw on my channel. I'm trying to bring awareness, or not, I won't say awareness, but just make sure I keep feeding or enlightening the younger group that's coming into college, especially towards SVSU, because of the pandemic. That's it. A lot of people, a lot of kids that came in as freshmen, their college experience got, you know, messed up because of the COVID and because of the pandemic. So I feel that this podcast, bringing back people, alumni, folks that has partied at SVSU, folks that got businesses and that graduated from SVSU, and then folks that's doing stuff at SVSU currently, like young business owners that's creating their own brands. I feel like Saginaw should be aware of these, and they should have a place to go to hear about it, to know that it's there. And I feel like that's what my podcast is going to be for. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Like I said, Etysonjr is going to be coming to y'all soon. Welcome weekend right around the corner, so just tune in, tap in with me. And I'm going to be available to do all collabs and all that. My dancing going to come out. I'm going to try to get skits out so I can get my acting out there. I got into acting a little bit, incorporating a lot of things on outside of YouTube. I try to help with the kids. I try to teach math a little bit from the skills that I got from working at the school as a math tutor, and just help out, try to do dance classes and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing.
I like that you think outside the not only think outside the box, but you live outside the box, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't put no barriers on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Try things out. You like it, you don't like it, you're good at it, you're not. If you like it enough, you work on it, you cultivate it. If you don't, you move on to something bigger, better, something different. You continue to invest into yourself, pour into yourself, bro. It's worth it. And when you get that podcast thing off and running, man, let me know, man. We'll work together on something. You know, I have my brother Jose sit down with you, you know what I'm saying, show you some things, but definitely I support you, my dog. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
And shout out to my man Southwest Zeke, been doing his thing with the podcast. We're gonna get together, Grupo Monte, all you brothers, man, much love, man. And you know what? You know, Lit Music Entertainment, they've been doing their thing. And big shout out to my man Leo at the Boost Mobile over there on Lincoln Park on Dixon and Outer Drive, man. Come show them guys some love, show them some business. We thank them for allowing us into their home to be able to run our podcast and our live in the mix. Much love to everybody, man, and have a good week, man. Salute.
And don't forget, this wouldn't be this if Cave wasn't in there. You know that.
The Cave, baby.
You know that.
Shout out.